the 5 p.m. torrential rain and downpour here. It's held off. It's actually about 21 degrees and quite nice and quite humid. The fans are absolutely loving it down here. But Ante Milicic, I know he'd be happy with an early goal. He's not so happy. He wants more urgency from his side. He keeps telling Chloe Logarzo to play out and wide.
those towels ready to go. Get the ball dry for these long throw routines. Now she can fire it back in the conventional way. Ford. All not dealt with, and Kyah Simon there to pounce. Good save made in the end. Kim Tan getting down low to guard her near post.
I think the Matildas got lucky with that one falling exactly to Kyah, and Kyah's actually done well to keep this low. You can see she's hit it on the half volley here, and in slippery conditions that could have been in.
Last corner driven in. Found Sam Kerr for the first time strike. She's on the move again here. Kerr all the way through for Kennedy. And she commits the foul in the end and has come off second best. Holding her arm. It's just a stinger, hopefully.
She certainly does get a good jump at that, but she definitely cleans up the Vietnamese defender there at the same time. So looked like a bit clunky on the fall down, but she seems to be tucking back in fine now.
Let's get back down to Tara.
Yeah, we could see Alana Kennedy just nearly on the ball then. She was clutching her wrist, and if you remember back to earlier this season, she actually fractured her wrist, giving a teammate a high five, of all things. A little bit of back and forth between the fourth official and Ivan Jolich, the assistant coach here from the Matildas, about that big time delay when Kim Tan was having treatment, the Vietnamese goalkeeper there. From the Matildas side of things, they just want to keep moving the ball faster and quicker and have a little bit more urgency on the ball. So, of course, the breaks in play are doing no one any favours down here.
Yep, there is Ivan Jolich, one of the assistants to Ante Milicic, and just hoping, I mean, Australia want as much game time to be played tonight, just keeping the officials honest. Make sure all of that time when the treatment is happening on the pitch is added on at the end of each half.
Yeah, that's right, and they want to keep the ball moving quickly. We touched on that when they're taking these quick throw-ins and quick free kicks. They want to keep this unrelenting pressure on the Vietnamese. It's very hard to stay disciplined for minute after minute of pressure.
Little casual there from Polkinghorne, gave it away, and Hai Yen is doing a great job leading the line so far, the number 12, and it's opening up again here for Vietnam. Van Su, 18-year-old, gets it back here and is into the area, but for the foul by Carpenter, and she's going to go into the book, is she? Ellie Carpenter there will be lucky to get away with that, because that has stopped a very promising attack.
Yeah, Chloe did well originally to get back, but a bit sloppy on the pass back there, and was a bit of a hospital ball for Ellie. That's a clear foul, and you would think this is probably the best opportunity that Vietnam have had. And I think we're touching on this Speedy, that they're actually surprisingly dangerous in the air. They've scored quite a few headers in their time in crucial matches, so Australia will have to be on their toes here.
Yeah, Van Su headed home that winner against Myanmar. Hai Yen headed home in the 91st minute against Thailand in the Southeast Asian Games gold medal game. Can leave it late at times. They'd love a first half goal here. And taking on the strike direct, only just over the crossbar. It was a nice idea, wasn't it? Lydia Williams nearly caught out by the strike from Thuy.
Right direction, right curl on that, just not quite enough drop. But they're clearly dangerous, and that'll be key moments for Vietnam in these set pieces. They've never scored against the Matildas before, so they'll be hoping for more opportunities like that.
Did rise a couple of spots in the latest FIFA rankings, up to 32 now. 25 spots below Australia. They really do commit so many numbers forward, the Matildas, and Vietnam have the smarts to make the most of the space at times, but here come Australia again. Caitlin Ford into the area. Good slide challenge. Very effective coming from T Tao. Polkinghorne steps up, keeps it in as well. Now Kerr's interested. Couldn't quite bring it down for Van Egmond. Till Matildas playing in Newcastle for the third time. There was a 3-2 win over Brazil in 2017, then a 5-0 success over Chile in 2018. Great turnout here for the early start time on a Friday night as Carpenter kept on going. And Egmont, local hero in these parts. Great rotation here from the Matildas. Lagazo trying to whip it across the face for Kerr again. Lagazo with a second chance. All the way back to Polkinghorne. Yallop bending one back post. Flick on. Caitlin Ford across the face. Here comes Lagazo! And had a chance for a first half brace there. Couldn't pick out the bottom corner that time. Might get another chance as Catley delivers.
Geez, Chloe will definitely want that one again. It was quite similar position to the one she scored, you know, only 5-10 minutes ago, but perhaps just didn't get her feet right there for that one. But some very good, clever play. Caitlin Ford being nice and cheeky and composed inside the box is what you want to see.
It was about 10 minutes ago, the 27th minute strike from Lagazo after Sam Kerr opened the scoring just shy of the 10-minute mark. Little flick on again from the long throw all the way across the face and off the post is it, and back in, squeezed nearly off the line in the end. Van Egmond third time around blazes over. Well, the crowd can't quite work out how the Matildas aren't 3-0 up now.
This looked like it was going to go in straight from the throw-in, didn't it, Speedy? It's a little bit of ping-pong there in the end, and probably Vietnam very lucky that Emily Van Egmond put that one over from such close range.
In the end, it was Tung behind her keeper, ensuring that that didn't trickle across. And Van Egmond will be upset not to add to her recent goal-scoring exploits.
The ultimate role of the sweeper in behind the goalkeeper, isn't it?
Here's Kerr. Oh, lovely back heel for Catley. Across the face went Van Egmond, and she scores now. The Newcastle girl in front of her home fans does make it 3-0 to the Matildas. And isn't she in the form of her life right now, the 26-year-old Emily Van Egmond?
That was a great time to run to the near post there, and a very good delivery from Steph Catley. And great to see Em Van Egmond on the score sheet after about 30 seconds ago was saying how disappointed she would be not to put that one away. Cheeky play again here from Sam Kerr. It's great to see the girls combining, and she's done well on a very tight angle there, Emily Van Egmond, and she'll be very, very proud moment for Emily in front of her home family and friends.
Will she be credited with the goal in the end? We might have to get forensic. Was that header actually on target? Or is it an own goal that might be credited in the end? What did stand out was the fact that she had the instinct to make the near post run in that situation. Don't allow defenders or goalkeepers to cut it out. She got there first.
Yeah, that's right, and it's crucial when you're expecting to put a lot of balls into the box. You must have a near post runner, even if it's just dragging players away so it opens up space on the penalty spot. Emily's made a perfectly well-timed run, and the delivery was spot on.
And I think Mum and Dad are seeing the funny side of a Van Egmond header. She's a tall girl, a tall player in midfield, but known more for her technique on the long-range strikes, as we saw against China, not so much her aerial ability, but she's got an assist and a goal with the head so far.
Yeah, she's certainly showing that she's got everything in her bag, and most recently she's been providing assist after assist and then putting away crucial winners for the Matildas. So I think of all players hitting their straps right now, it is Emily Van Egmond, and again, we touched on this, she's a proud Nova Castrian, and she'll be incredibly excited to be playing for the Matildas in her hometown.
And the highest scoring Matilda in the W League season that's just been completed, the home and away part of it, with 6 goals from Melbourne City. There she is, a well-weighted pass. Lagazo just behind Carpenter, but Kerr was there to lend a hand. Secondary assist for Kerr on that most recent goal.
I think we've always known how talented Emily Van Egmond is, but it's where do you play her? Do you play her in at 10? Here we go with Caitlin with a chance.
Bodies in the road again. Polkinghorne squeezing up to keep Australia in that attacking third. finds the feet of Ford. Kennedy. Ford kept on going, and it was a nice idea trying to drag it across the face. Keeper got her hands on it, and then the indiscretion from Ford in the end, according to the well-positioned referee. But Caitlin Ford could easily have added a fourth there.
Just goes to show in this kind of weather, it's never over. The ball is never truly dead. So good to see the intent from Caitlin getting in there, and it's very tricky conditions for the Vietnamese goalkeeper.
There we go. Was that header on target, Amy? You're going to take it off her?
I'd like to give it to Emily, but I do think it does look like an own goal there. But you know, I'd like to see it go to Emily.
We'll wait and see for official confirmation. I think she might get it. The sticklers would say it's an own goal from Fung Tao.
Even just a reward for making the near post run, I think that's fair, Speedy.
Here's Dung. Forced backwards and a risky pass across the face. Lagazo trying to get there now. Kerr, and Australia's press wins it back high up the pitch. Kerr played in behind. Keeper comes again so bravely.
I do wonder if Caitlin Ford was perhaps the better option there. She was a little bit deeper and had the other centre back facing the wrong way, but you know, still a good little through ball from Emily Van Egmond there. Just a little bit too much on it.
Well, Kennedy taking matters into her own hands here. Wrestling Hai Yen across the sideline. Worried about that ball staying in play for the speedy striker. And the adjudication is what from the referee? It is a free kick coming back here for that. It was a puzzling situation.
It is a little bit confusing there, Speedy.
Just wanted the throw-in taken from the right spot, but Kennedy might have gotten away with one there, and Carpenter was lucky to avoid a caution earlier. Oh, with the treatment from behind from Fung Tao.
Like she was going for an AFL specky there. That was a knee straight into the back, and I think Hayley Rasso will have some pretty, you know, pretty raw images of that when she injured herself in a similar fashion.
This time it's Ford committing the foul. Three and three for Ford against Vietnam in years gone by. Most recent meetings in 2016 and 2018. They did hand Vietnam the biggest ever defeat as well, 11-0. It was one of the two previous meetings in this country between these teams. Lovely control by Simon, and Kerr wanted it played early. Look at the improvisation from Sam Kerr, keeping it alive with shoulder and head, and now looking for teammates over her shoulder. Kept alive by Kerr. Great desperation defensively. Hasn't there been a lot of that in this first half? It was Nyung working overtime to clear. Carpenter. Simon can turn. Kerr's onside here because there's a defender down in the box. Nyung now getting back into position, but she's proppy. That is some camera work to read the notes in the little black book of Ante Milicic. There'll be a few screenshots taken of that for the coaches watching this coverage to see how Milicic goes about his work.
Some great insight to see who's in trouble at half-time.
Kerr making another run here. Carpenter keeps it on the right hand sideline. Lagazo turning back inside. Carpenter continued her run. Cut back on. Finds Ford. Composure and run off the ball a little there. Caitlin Ford kept her feet through it all though. And Vietnam had enough numbers there to see off the threat, but their captain's in a bit of bother. And down inside the area, referee may well stop play here. Vietnam certainly asking for that. now we might be adding to that 3 minutes of stoppage time.
It's a great little cutback from Ellie Carpenter there to find Caitlin Ford free in the 18-yard box, who actually took a reasonably good first touch. You'd like to see her take the strike on that very next touch, but yeah, she must have just not been balanced enough to take the strike and had to go for a run.
The head really hitting the turf hard there, and that might have done the most significant damage. And they'll be checking whether it's a concussion issue for the captain, Nyung, who's been crucial to holding things together at times. The scoreline could have been anything in this first half. At the moment, it's a 3-goal margin.
Commitment from these Vietnamese players, though. There's 3 around the ball, giving Caitlin absolutely no room to move.
Not only did she cop the arm of Caitlin Ford, her head then hit the turf on the way down, so a double whammy for Nyung. He might have a little bit of blood coming from behind the lip. Just get the clearance from the 4th official before coming back on. Invited back on by the assistant in the end. A rare touch for Lydia Williams. Has been keeping a stack of clean sheets with Melbourne City throughout this season. To add another one here on the international stage. Very much first choice ahead of Mackenzie Arnold in the Milicic reign. Tulkinghorn managed to find a way through for Catley. Kerr goal side in the middle. Late run was coming from Simon, couldn't quite get on the end of things. Again, it's exciting, exhilarating football from the Matildas. Not quite the payoff that time.
No, exactly. There was good numbers in the box, and it wasn't a bad delivery. A slightly earlier delivery along the ground to Sam Kerr, you know, could have perhaps paid some dividends. But a great ball from Tulkinghorn to pick out Steph Catley, who's one of those overlapping fullbacks that's continuously running forward.
Kennedy helped it on again. That looks a real threat for this Vietnamese defence, those long throws and the flick-ons from the centre half. I welcome the half-time break for these Vietnamese players. In the walls, Kim Tan and the captain, Nyung, being patched up. And a chance for Mai Duk Chung to talk things over as well. He said it would be a great learning experience taking on the might of the Matildas. Certainly panning out that way.
They've certainly absorbed a lot of pressure in this first half, and have actually had their moments themselves. There was 2 or 3 moments there where, you know, they put the likes of Tulkinghorn and Alanda Kennedy under a fair bit of pressure, and they had a reasonably, you know, well-taken free kick as well.
Referee checked her watch. Gives Vietnam the late set piece here. Given away by Lagazo. The last chance for either team in this first half. Vietnam have come close a couple of times to a breakthrough goal against Australia. And an away goal to take back to their home country. That set piece not good enough. And there goes the half-time whistle. Australia looking to secure that Olympic berth again, are well on their way in the first half here in Newcastle. Chloe Lagazo, Sam Kerr and Emily Van Egmond with the first half goals that give us the scoreline of Australia 3, Vietnam 0 at the break in this Olympic qualifier. Stay with us. We'll check out all of those goals and the other highlights right after this.
Welcome back to Hunter Stadium, where the Matildas' journey to Tokyo, it continues here tonight. They're looking towards booking their trip to the Olympics later this year, up against Vietnam, the world number 32. And it is the Matildas that are in the lead thus far, with the first half already being played. A little bit of helter-skelter action out there. It was a pretty wet pitch. We had some torrential rain here in Newcastle a couple of hours ago, but a good first half so far. I'm Tara Rushton. It's great to have your company and to be joined by Michelle Heyman. 3-0. Could have been 4-0, could have been 5-0 really from the Matildas' perspective.
Yeah, most definitely we could have had more goals, but it's been an exciting first half and I'm really looking forward to what we've got to come.
And it was, of course, Sam Kerr netting her 40th international goal that got the Matildas off and running.
Yeah, which is an incredible ball here from Ellie Carpenter as well, just to be able to hit that with pace to find Sam's head. And that's her best way of scoring goals, is Sammy on her head. So well done to her. It was just incredible work.
Yeah, the crowd were up and about after that. And then Chloe Lagazzo, who's been heavily involved down the right-hand side.
She's been very busy in this first half, and a lovely ball in with a nice flick on here from Emily, but just so calm and collected when that ball hit her foot. You never saw her take her eyes off the ball, and that is exactly what you want to be scoring goals. But you just see this, it's just nice, cool, calm and collected and very composed.
And this third goal, Steph Catley, gosh, she's unbelievable at that left-back position, but a beautiful ball in from Steph Catley. It finds Emily Van Egmond. And we're going to credit it to Emily Van Egmond, though, aren't we?
Yeah, we've got to give it to her. We're unsure if it was an own goal, but she was there. She ran near post, and that's what you want from your forwards as well. And it was a beautiful run in. Great ball from Steph, but she was lucky enough to get her head on that one and a good goal.
A special goal for Emily Van Egmond, the Newcastle brawn and bred young lady that she is. Sam Kerr, I want to get your thoughts on her in this first half. She looked like she was 3-on-1 and nearly had a goal herself, but in terms of the way the Matildas are playing, not so centrally, using the flank small.
Yeah, definitely. They are going through the middle, out wide, not through the middle to find Sam as much, but she's making those runs in and behind, trying to get as many touches on the ball, but we are trying to use Chloe Lagazzo on the right side at the moment. Hopefully in the second half you'll see Sam a little bit more. They might change things up, but every time she gets the ball, she's being creative on it and creating opportunities for other players. And she scored in the first 7 minutes as well, so we can't forget that one.
And it's so interesting being on the sideline. It's no surprise, really. Every time Sammy is on the ball, the crowd rises. They get up off their seats. The little young girls, the young boys behind us are all screaming, "Go Sam, go Sam." From the Matildas' perspective, though, I dare say Ante Milicic on the bench here, he was so frustrated because he feels he should be heading into the sheds at the halftime break with a scoreline of about 6-0.
Yeah, and I'm definitely on his team for that. I feel like the way that we were performing, we created so many chances but just weren't scoring the goals. We've been dominating the ball. We've had more opportunities as well, but we should be doing better. And I know the girls would want to be doing better because they know what it means to score as many goals as possible to get to the Olympics.
It looked like it took the Matildas a little time to settle into this game. It has been a different build-up. They've been in camp for just 5 days, 3 training sessions only, which was different to the camp that they'd been in for a month. But you could see a lot of those jitters still in the first half.
Yeah, I think it took them around a good 15 minutes just to find their feet, and especially the field is a lot quicker than what they played in last time, so it's a lot faster pace. But I think that the girls are doing a great job. They're creating opportunities, they're doing everything possible to be scoring goals. It's just now just being more composed in front of the goal.
Vietnam, though, they have breached our back four on more than one occasion, Michelle, which is a little bit of a concern really when you think about how good we should be defensively.
Yeah, most definitely. I was unsure if they were actually ever going to get a shot on goal, but you can see here a nice beautiful cross in with they had 2 people running into the box as well, so they're creating their own chances and being dangerous. But this was something that the Matildas were unsure that it was going to happen. We didn't see them coming to attack, but they've thrown themselves at the girls and they've done a great job. They've scared our backline a few times.
The question is, where to from here? What next come this second half? The Matildas are behind us on the pitch right now, warming up the entire subs bench, that is. Do you see some changes being made? Who do you think will come on and have an impact?
Yeah, maybe we might see a little bit of change in the midfield. I feel like maybe Yelep might get taken off and you see KK come back on just to see what she's got, just to change it up a little bit. But other than that, I feel like everyone's playing great in their position. So I'm lucky I'm not the coach. That's all I got to say.
Those two players there, I guess another layer to tonight. Ivy Luik, Emily Gilnick missed the Olympics last time with their eye firmly on the prize, hoping that this time they're not just part of the qualification process, Michelle, but they actually get on the plane to Tokyo.
Most definitely, and they need that time on the field. So they're going to be pushing, they're going to be banging down the door and just asking Ante to put me on the field, because it's the only time you get to shine and to show the coach what you've got. And especially for Ivy, she's been around for a number of years and has never made it to those big competitions where she's always wanted to be a part of. So I know for a fact that she's going to want to get out there, get on the pitch and show her stuff.
Yeah, played in her very first World Cup last year in France in July. Lots to play for, more goals, because 5 days' time they head to Vietnam and play the away leg of these Olympic qualifiers. We are off to a short break, though. On the other side, a huge second half coming up between the Matildas and Vietnam, where we see more goals rain in for the girls in green and gold.
A spot at Tokyo 2020 on the line as the Matildas face Vietnam in a two-legged tie, and it is the opening leg at home in Newcastle. Two changes to the team, which started the most recent qualifier against China. Tamika Yallop will play in the unfamiliar defensive midfield role, while Kaya Simon is back as one of the attacking midfielders as Kellen Knight and Rasso drop to the bench. Vietnam without their captain, Hun Nhu, only good enough to start on the bench after a recent ankle problem. And the Stars potentially, Hai Yen, the number 12, who headed home the winner in the Southeast Asian Games gold medal game late last year, and Van Su, the 18-year-old teenager who only debuted for her country last month. Welcome back to Newcastle. Half-time here in the Olympic qualifier between Australia and Vietnam, and the Matildas 3-0 up already. Remember, it's a two-legged tie. The away leg in Vietnam in 5 days' time. Both of these teams will fly out tomorrow, bound for Hanoi, and then the short trip to Calm Pha to get ready for that return leg. The Australian substitutes warming up at half-time. Doesn't look like there'll be any change immediately by Ante Milicic, but of course he can make 3 alterations if he sees fit. At least Kellen Knight will be eyeing off some game time after being dropped to the bench tonight. And Katrina Gorry also hopeful of being involved after making a real contribution off the bench at times in that most recent 4-team qualifying tournament in Sydney. Sam Kerr with the opening goal. Came 10 minutes in. Chloe Logarzo and Emily Van Egmond adding to Australia's advantage. But Vietnam had a few chances, so Australia won't want to take a scoreline like this to Vietnam, 3-0 up. They want to try and ram home their advantage on their home deck here tonight.
Yeah, there's no doubt the Matildas will want to build on that first half. They certainly had opportunities that they didn't capitalise on, and there was moments that perhaps, you know, against a stronger competition that the Matildas will need to fine-tune. On the flip side, what will Vietnam do? Will they continue to stay with this 5-4-1 sort of 5-5 formation and you know, hope for their counter-attack? Are they going to throw a few players forward and go to try and score, or see what they can get out of this game?
As you can see, Vietnam made one change. Vuong Thi Van off and Nguyen Thi Van on. So the number 18 for the number 16, just from fresh legs in midfield. Good sign is that Nhung, the captain, returns after being in the wars at the back end of that first half. Really need her experience at the back. It's the Golden Girls of Vietnam who kick things off. That's the nickname they go by in their home country. And of course, the Matildas hoping to become Golden Girls for Australia in 2020. They were so close to getting through to the medal rounds 4 years ago. Lost out in that heartbreaking penalty shootout against Brazil, the host country. Of course, they've still got some work to do to make sure they're among the teams that go for gold at this year's Olympics.
Yeah, the Olympic Games is actually a really big tournament for the Matildas. A lot that were involved for football for the last 20 or 30 years will know there was a 12-year gap there where the Matildas didn't qualify. And so it was Rio Olympics 2016 where the girls went all the way through and they actually faced the host Brazil, which ended up being a pretty heart-wrenching penalty shootout in front of almost 100,000 fans, mostly Brazilian fans. And to bow out on that with penalties is really tough for the girls. So they'll be looking to bounce back, and there's competition for positions on the plane to the Olympics.
Yeah, this is a squad of 20 for this two-legged tie for Australia. You can only take 18 to the Olympics, including 2 goalkeepers. As Polkinghorne goes to Catley. Really provided some lovely balls from that left-hand side in the first half. Steph Catley, here she goes again, weaving her way in and bending one back post. Almost betwixt and between whether to cross or shoot there.
Yeah, I've loved seeing Steph Catley develop as actually a fullback with so much attacking prowess as well. She does bring another element forward for the Matildas and even for Melbourne City. She's got an excellent left foot, and you know, if she can combine with the likes of Caitlin Ford, she can be dangerous.
This time it's Kennedy picking out the feet of Ford. Misplaced pass. And the substitute gets her first touch. Thi Van. It's Dung. Hasn't been as influential as she would have hoped just yet. Does have that knee heavily strapped. Perhaps holding her back a little, the number 7. Once scored directly from corners twice in the same game. That was against Malaysia. Did it with the left foot, did it with the right foot. And that video of those 2 efforts went viral for the 26-year-old. Made her a household name back home.
Vietnam will be looking for a player to step up and have their star-studded moment. We know that the support back home in Vietnam will be huge, and they don't want to rely on this second leg for an almighty comeback to try and get themselves a chance of going to their first ever Olympics.
What are you making of Yallop as that deepest lying midfielder? It's a position that she's not too familiar with, and she's not dropping off to open up space for herself there. She's almost pushing on to the opposition midfielder at times.
Yeah, that's right. When you're playing with two number 10s, you really do need a disciplined number 6, and Yallop would probably be quite new to that position, but given a task, Meeks is usually very focused and able to, you know, take on whatever the message is from the coach. And so she's doing that again today. She's been quite disciplined holding a position. She's been having to compete with a lot of 50-50 balls. But like you touched on, Speedy, she's very agile and is able to get the little touches in that they need and allow the likes of Kaya and Emily Van Egmond to get a bit further forward.
Simon making a run, which she was hoping Kennedy would spot. Instead, she drops it out for Carpenter to eventually track down just shy of the high line. A poke inside to the feet of Lagazzo. Recycled via Van Egmond. Again, Kerr would have been offside, I fancy, had that ball found it. Kennedy appeared to have fouled Hai Yen. Let her go just in time, according to the referee. Polkinghorne, great close control. Simon, not enough pace on the pass intended for forward. Egmond again using her head, did so to great effect a couple of times in the first half. Simon, Kerr, deft little flick around the corner, not quite coming off for Van Egmond.
You can see why Ante's gone with the players like Emily Van Egmond and Kaya Simon, both of them showing in those pockets and demanding the ball. And then we've seen just recently both of them break the line. That's what you want from your number 10, getting in the pockets, facing forward, and then breaking the line.
Spoken like the number 10 of yesteryear for the Matildas, Amy Chapman, giving you the insights from the commentary box tonight. 20 caps for her country. Where Kerr's popped up, helping out alongside Catley at the back, so forward's the furthest forward. Flag staying down for it if she can keep it in, and did so. Just the assistant maybe blinded on that far side. Late run, Van Egmond, great save. Van Egmond couldn't squeeze it home, and it's off the post again for Australia. Another near miss, but credit the goalkeeper Kim Tan again.
That one looked like it did go out there. If there was VAR, I suspect that might have come back. But again, a good far post run from Emily, and a little bit unlucky that one didn't go in as well.
She's had a few chances now in that kind of position. Glazed over in the first half. Did score with her head after that. Could have had another hat-trick. Recently scored her first international hat-trick, of course. Kerr putting enough pressure on. Quickly taken throw for Carpenter. And now Carpenter can think along about the long throw routine. Up comes Kennedy. And Carpenter says, I've had enough of that. I was going to Yallop this time. Lovely turn of speed. Tamika Yallop. And not enough bend on it to take it away from the keeper. Potential here on the counter. Hai Yen blocked off by Polkinghorne. Cowiga Milicic is the play ball boy here and get things going again for his side. Matildas want to keep it up tempo. Want to maximise the potential here in Newcastle tonight. Last time they were here, they were 0-0 at the break against Chile, and then hammered home 5 goals unanswered in the second half. Catley, great find of Ford in the middle. Yallop. Carpenter offside by centimetres. And puts it in the back of the net a long time after the whistle had gone. Was lucky to avoid a booking in the first half. She'll get one for that.
Yeah, you can get a bit carried away when you're up there and you're just wanting to have a strike, but you know, those kind of little moments is perhaps just a lack of discipline there from Ellie. She is clearly offside. You do want to see a fair bit more of this from the Matildas, switching the play, stretching these defenders out. At some point, they're going to get frustrated and you're going to drag them out, and that's when you get your number 10s to break the line.
First caution of the night arrives in the 54th minute. 50-51 in the centre circle by the visitors. Nyung and Tulkinghorn brought it down and wins it back there. Suspicion of a foul, not seen by the referee. Kennedy. Passing has been outstanding for much of the night, just a little off on that occasion as we check in with Tara.
Yeah, look, it would have been a nice moment if Ellie Carpenter had scored just then. The crowd certainly wanted her to have scored. They were up roaring, thinking it was a bit unfair that it was chalked off. And look, the fourth official was here writing some notes in her book, and Ante Milicic clocked a look and said, "What are you laughing for?" Whether she was having a laugh at what had just played out for the Matildas and the goal being disallowed. And he was pretty impassioned and said, "What are you laughing for?" Very upset. You can see he not happy with this 3-0 scoreline yet. Need to make the most of the fact that this is our home game, so it's pressing the girls for more goals.
What change do you think he's going to be plotting around the hour mark when the first one or two tend to come?
Well, it'll be interesting to see what he does do. Some girls are needing some minutes. This is a great opportunity for the likes of Emily Gilnick or perhaps Hayley Rasso if she's fit, if she's recovered from that fractured nose, for her to come on and really tear apart with her speed this, you know, pretty well disciplined Vietnamese backline. And we see Hayley getting a talking to now, so we could be right on the money there. It's great to see that she has bounced back from that nose operation, but geez, her speed would be an asset out there right now.
Yeah, hasn't been able to link up with Everton yet. We've seen the likes of Ford, Kerr and Lagazzo head over to England and ply their trade already. Rasso signed by Everton weeks ago now, but as I say, that surgery on the broken nose meant that the international long-haul flight wasn't available to her just yet. Again, great organisation shape-wise by Vietnam, and Dung is fouled by Ford.
I think there'll be some positives from Ante at half-time. The fullbacks from the Matildas, both Steph and Ellie, have been getting nice and high and wide and doing the overload that has been asked for them and getting some good balls in. Where I think he might be disappointed is perhaps a lack of patience, a lack of stretching those Vietnamese defenders and finding the holes and finding the gaps. Sometimes they're just delivering a ball into the box when perhaps it's not on.
Ivan Jolic with the final instructions being issued to Hayley Rasso. No shortage of advice, and now the chance to make her entrance. Vietnam plotting an alteration as well. Australia will hold off, it appears, until the next stoppage. There's some patience for you. Kennedy going all the way back to Williams. Here comes the superstar for Vietnam. Regular captain. Only fit enough for half an hour or so. Yallop. Tulkinghorn fired to the feet of Ford. Got the better of a defender. Caitlin Ford just wide. Capable of picking out the bottom corner from there. couldn't steer it home.
And that's exactly why everyone over at Arsenal and the WSL are excited, because Caitlin Foord just brings this X factor. She turns her players on a dime, and she's happy to run at players with speed. She's very quick to catch when she's facing forward. Perhaps would have been a little bit disappointed with that final finish, an attempt on goal.
So Hun Yu on in the number 9, and Hayley Raso out onto that right-hand side. Reshuffle with Lagazo going back to her more familiar role as one of the 10s. Kaya Simon withdrawn.
It's a really good shift for Kaya tonight. It's great to see her back playing consistent football. She's been playing very well for Melbourne City. And she, again, is incredibly dynamic. She's creative, and she's been finding some good pockets this evening.
Still that half-time scoreline for Australia. 3 goals to the good. And Egmont, little ball inside. Yallop going sideways. That was a chance to drive on from that position. Here she is, facing forward and going wide to Catley. It's proved a real handful, Steph Catley. Now forward. Very deliberate move forward here by the Aussies. And Lagazo couldn't make it stick. May have given away the foul. In the end, she's able to find Raso. Here's a chance for Carpenter. And bodies in the road again. Settles for the corner.
You can see that the crowd are getting excited. They want goals. They want more goals. The Matildas are in good positions, and perhaps this is getting a little bit frustrating for them that they've not managed to open them up yet this half.
And that is the active area. Those fans in fine voice right throughout the evening. Trick attempted by Foord, and this time it is a foul. She ran into Fung Tao, who's been one of the best at the back for Vietnam. Look at those most recent scorelines: 11-0, 8-0, 9-0 and 4-0 head-to-head. Right now, there's a bit of frustration in the stands that they're not racking up a score like that right now.
It's definitely difficult to break down such a compact back line when they've got so many numbers behind the ball, but we're in here.
And again, Kerr would have been offside. It's something that she has to tidy up.
Yeah, definitely the timing of the run, but again, the execution on that final ball from Caitlin Foord is perhaps not up to her standard, and you know, they may be the only opportunities you get at the Olympics, so they want to be a bit more clinical than that.
Staying onside was Van Su, and keeping it in as well. Best spell of possession for Vietnam, almost for the entire evening here. Breaks down in the end. Tired pass by Tung, just 20 years of age, the central defender. Kerr had her pocket picked by her opposing captain. Lagazo's in space. Kennedy's seen it. Chloe Lagazo. Kerr in the road. May well have left that for Raso, and she would have been in. Couldn't find her with the reverse ball either. There's the tricks of the number 9, Hun Yu. Likewise, Dung. They're starting to grow in confidence here, Vietnam. And Kennedy had to be on guard there, otherwise they were clean through. Now Raso, and she tracked this one down. It's going to race away on the breeze.
Hayley's definitely quick, but she's not quite that quick. But just rolling back onto that one with Sam before, I think she might have been a bit surprised that she had so much space on the top of the box there, and either needed to to let it go to Haley or turn and go herself. I think both the Vietnamese centre-backs both went and committed themselves and left Sam, you know, in acres of space.
High boot. Van Egmond looking to get on with things. And eventually could take the quick free kick. Poked it through to Carpenter. Forward being forced backwards. Polkinghorne trying to scythe one through for Van Egmond. Difficult ball to pull off. When you look at that subs bench for Australia, a Lewick or a Kellen Knight is someone who can ignite things, pick the right pass from that deeper lying midfield role. Australia seem to be missing that player at the moment.
Yeah, I think they do. There's our midfielders actually aren't getting in too much space facing forward. They were in the first half, still pretty tight, but you can see the Matildas are trying to force things when they're not on here.
Careless turnover, and Kerr found Ford. Razzo took on the strike and a handy little flick up off Tung. They missed Caitlin Ford all alone back post there, didn't they, Australia? And another defender down inside the box here. They want play to stop. Fung Tao, the latest to pull up lane. There's Van Egmond all alone, back post.
You can see Australia's eagerness to get forward and be involved is actually causing them to be offside a number of times and perhaps force that final ball when it's not on. I think perhaps bringing someone on that can bring a little bit of a different style or dynamic and sort of instill that patience a little bit more. The spaces are opening up, but it's whether the Matildas are seeing them at the right time.
For the Matildas after another stoppage. I think Sam Kerr was saying to the referee that's happened a few too many times tonight. Defenders going down and stopping Australia's rhythm. Fired into the feet of Kerr, kept alive by Razzo with a robust challenge. Now Kerr, great speed and a clever idea, trying to play in Lagazzo in the middle, and the fans are thinking maybe just poke it home yourself.
Yeah, it was a tight angle for Sam. She's done very well to get in front of her defender. That just shows the speed over 3 or 4 metres there. You know, disappointing someone wasn't there to tap that one home. I think that's all Sam could do from that position. And another opportunity wasted.
Oh, brilliantly worked routine. Polkinghorne pops up at the right time, and doesn't she love celebrating a goal? She's into double figures for her country. And looking to become a 2-time Olympian, the veteran centre-half. And they're on their feet in Newcastle.
What a well-worked goal there. This is excellent, and they've stayed onside this time. Incredibly happy to see Claire Polkinghorne on the score sheet. It's a great run. Pretty decent finish, and she shows some true passion, doesn't she, Claire Polkinghorne? She's one of Australia's finest, and really great to see her on the scoreboard.
Scored in the 2016 Olympics in the rout of Zimbabwe. And she's on target here. And lucky she did make that run, because Kerr was offside again. If Van Egmond had picked out the lady who's supposed to be scoring all the goals in the middle for Australia. Now Razzo picked the pocket. Ford's interested here, but that strike and arm. All the way back to Yallop, who got underneath it. Big week in the life of Tamika Yallop. Announced on social media this week that she's going to become a mum with her partner, the former New Zealand international.
Yep, that's Kirsty Yallop, and that's fantastic news for the two of them. Really exciting. It's wonderful to be able to become a parent and still be enjoying your football like she is, and really fantastic news.
The baby set to arrive in September, as they announced on Instagram and Twitter and all that. All part of the modern football routine, the social media channels. And Egmont winning it back. Crowd right into it again. Second change imminent for the Matildas. And the brains of the operation, Elise Keller-Knight.
Yeah, it'd be great to see KK coming back out and getting some minutes. She's missed quite a bit of the W League, but I suspect it might be Tamika Yallop, the mum-to-be, coming off, and KK sitting into that holding 6 role.
Rasso almost slid it through. She was upended though. There were a couple of nibbles at Hayley Rasso, and good refereeing to bring it back for the set piece. And Van Egmont may well be interested here as the change is made, and Amy Chapman saw what was coming. It is Australia's number 13. Tamika Yallop off, and Elise Keller-Knight on. An article written in today's Daily Telegraph by Thomas Smithies that Elise Keller-Knight is about to have a photography exhibition start up for a month in Sydney.
Yeah, you love to see the players, you know, excelling off the field as well. She's also a qualified pharmacist, so she's and quite an impressive windsurfer as well. So a woman of many talents, and yeah, fantastic to see her getting back out there, and a solid shift from Tamika Yallop tonight in a new role for her.
And her landscape photography has particularly caught the eye. Helps her get her mind off football at times, and she sees some weird and wonderful places with the Matildas. Alana Kennedy, it's the right side for a left footer, but Kennedy tends to take these set pieces from this kind of range. It is Australia's number 14, and it won't come down in time. Her last goal was scored a year ago today against Argentina in that 3-0 win in Melbourne.
Alana is incredibly dangerous on those set pieces, and in fact she is a target from those wider areas as well. She would actually make quite an impressive number 9 as well, I think.
Left it behind on this occasion. Vietnam looking for that away goal. Dung kept on bending her run, and now she can go, but Catley was in the road. Left it for Choi. Ball into the box from Vietnam, dealt with by Carpenter. Kept alive here, mistake by Carpenter, opens the door. Vietnam with a big chance here. And it slides wide in the end. Australia was scrambling at the back to keep the substitute at bay, Nguyen Thi Van.
That was a very close call there for the Matildas, and a great opportunity for Vietnam. They would have found themselves in a very exciting area and very close to scoring.
Rasso. Across the face, left for Kerr here, teeing up Van Egmont, who leaned back again. And Gary Van Egmont, once the assistant coach and the long-time lifelong coach of Emily, will have a little word at full time.
I think so. Coach and father, with exceptional technique in the Van Egmont family, will be a little bit disappointed with that one. But, you know, sometimes it's coming at you a bit fast there, and she'll be disappointed that she didn't get over the top of that one.
Maybe she'll claim the bobble, the dreaded bobble. Lovely ball. Kennedy over the top. Ford goes early. Kerr was waiting back post. And a great stretch by Tung again. Of the youngsters that the coach has been keen to bring through have been standouts tonight. Tung just 20 years of age. Van Su, the 18-year-old. Future is bright for Vietnamese football. Driven in by Van Egmont. Header gave Ford half a chance. Ricochet back to the corner taker. Catley, first time delivery. Kennedy forward here. Offside, said the referee. It's another bruise for Kim Tan. A little corky on the thigh, perhaps.
is great to see, Speedy, that the Vietnamese team are giving some of these youngsters a go. This is a wonderful opportunity to be playing against the number 6 ranked team in the world, and with a lot on the line. I think there's 50% of the squad that won that Southeast Asia Cup against Thailand are on this squad today, and then the other 50% are all youth that's coming forward. So really good exposure for them, and certainly a tough matchup.
Battered and bruised for that long haul flight tomorrow. Their Vietnamese goalkeeper, Kim Tan, had the magic spray on her on multiple occasions here tonight. Backup goalkeeper never thought she was going to be required, Kong Thi Han.
I think she did have the hyperextended elbow earlier in the first half as well, and I think she knew coming into this would be a very busy evening for her.
Space for Polkinghorne to push into again. Bends one around. Defender played it cleverly out off Ford. Emily Gilnick just in the background there, going through a more rigorous warm-up routine. They get a late cameo here. Kellen Knight has given away the foul, and they go early. Lydia Williams a long way outside of her area, summed it up very nicely as the Keystone Cops was going on behind her. Kennedy and Carpenter cleaning each other up.
Fair bit of acrobatics and friendly fire going on back there. I think they'll have a giggle about that one after the game, as long as no one's too injured. But Lydia Williams a long way from home there and had to get a bit creative with her first touch. Matter back at the team hotel this evening. Clumsy by Ford, giving away her fair share of fouls tonight. Tay Milicic far from satisfied. A long way off getting the perfect performance that he would crave as Matilda's coach. Class act, isn't it? Isn't she, number 9? Played the right ball in behind and kept alive in the end by Thi Thao. You can feel the game opening up a little bit, and you sense the frustration even from the Matildas that they're not controlling the game like they were earlier on.
Headed clear by Polkinghorne, kept alive by Hun Yu. Lovely first touch from Ford. And then upended by Troy, who's given Ford little room to move tonight. Free kick taken quickly enough by Ford, and it's opened up down that right-hand side. Carpenter. Intended for Rasso. That's the best result for Australia, because I think they were offside again. The pair of them in the middle.
I think they both were. It's, you know, and at this level, you should not be finding yourself in those offside positions, even if they managed to get a good delivery in. Both Hayley and Sam Kerr look like they were offside, and I know they're quick, but you still need to be smart and quick at the same time.
14,000 plus watching on in Newcastle. They always turn up to watch the Matildas in this part of the world. Well, Kerr, that's the second time she's been picked out, and it just took a little while to get there, didn't it? A little quicker, and I think Kerr was right in the ballgame.
They're very difficult ones to redirect on target when you're running towards the ball with speed and you're trying to get some power on it to back across the other way. It is looking like it's really starting to bucket down out there now as well. You can see the crowd are all scrambling to find their ponchos out there.
Yep, rain coming in sideways at the backs of the Matildas right now. And the poncho Sellers did a roaring trade pre-game with the threatening grey clouds overhead. Rusty touch from Kelvin Knight. Dillman made a terrific run on this near side. They couldn't find her though. And Carpenter's got a release ball on now. Goes to Lagazzo. Razzo screaming for it on that right-hand side. Goes to Catley instead. Club teammate Carpenter was trying to make a run. Now it's Ford. Flying back to Catley. Kelvin Knight says, where to next? She had no one to go to with a vertical pass. Had to go back to Polkinghorne on the recycle. Van Egmond, strong running. Finds Razzo second time around, goes down. What's the referee say? Penalty. Australia with a chance to add a fifth. Had a good long think about it. The Vietnamese players are remonstrating. But of course, there's no VAR tonight, and the penalty will stand, and Razzo's grin suggests she's bought one there.
I think in real time that does look like a penalty. She's taken a great first touch beyond the player, and it does look like she's been clipped. She may have added a little bit of GST to that one, but you know, that's clever attacking play, and that's why Hayley's so dangerous. And you know, you can actually see why the Vietnamese players are so fired up. I'm not sure if it's okay to actually be pushing the referee like they were, but you can see they're pretty fired up about that decision.
So, Australia from the spot. It's haunted them a little over the last 4 years, dating back to the Olympics of 2016. The captain has taken on the responsibility. Camera phones rolling. Sam Kerr for number 2. Oh, hit off the underside of the crossbar. Would have been holding her breath for a millisecond there, but she gave the goalkeeper no chance, and Australia well on their way to booking a spot at Tokyo 2020, 5-0 up in the home leg against Vietnam.
It's a big moment for Sam. She's had a few difficulties with penalties in the past, and it's great to see her step up here, and she took her moment. Well created by Hayley, definitely lucky to get that one called for her, but you know, you can see that meant a lot to Sam Kerr there, and that's 5 on the up for the Matildas.
Still plenty of time to complete the hat-trick as well for Kerr. Ford keeps on wriggling. And no foul, says the referee. Trying to let it slide. No advantage accrued. Goalkeeper's copped it again. This time it's Lagazzo who may have come off second best. It is a late cameo for the Bayern Munich winger slash striker, Emily Gielnik. Tried to take evasive action there, Chloe Lagazzo. She's back to her feet, which is a good sign, but that leg, standing leg, did cop it there, didn't it?
Yeah, you can get yourself caught in some tricky situations there, particularly when a goalkeeper comes sliding out, and I think Chloe will be fortunate that wasn't anything worse.
There will be no hat-trick for Sam Kerr. She leaves with a double. That's taken her into the 40s for her country. Ante Milicic with the management of his squad, just letting Sam Kerr know you're entitled to a rest. And we'll get you back to Chelsea after the return leg, unscathed, hopefully.
Exactly, and I think Sam Kerr there's no doubting how much of a legend she is in women's football and as a female athlete in this country. So, you know, it's great for her to get on the scoreboard twice here in Newcastle.
Milicic with the quick hands. Lagazzo, clever little roll. A bit of afters as well. Didn't like the treatment after the whistle had been blown. Sam Kerr taking a back seat and hoping to see Australia add 1 or 2 more down the stretch here. What are you making that penalty taking by Kerr to go with the power and not the placement?
it's ambitious, but it paid off at the end of the day. Sometimes you can go for placement and the keeper picks the right way. It's definitely risky. It's risky, but you know, I'm just happy for Sam that she's got another one in and the monkey's off her back.
Newcastle fans are thinking if she scored the third, we'd see the backflip. Come on, Ante Milicic. Going to leave her out there, but he's keen to see what Emily Gielnik can provide. Catlett. I didn't think she'd whip it in on a right boot. It was clearly a decoy. Van Egmon's delivery terrific. And Claire Polkinghorne that close to a brace.
I'm not sure if that sucked us all into that set play there, but it was a great delivery in the end and well timed from Claire Polkinghorne. It was probably only about 30 centimetres above the crossbar there, and yeah, promising.
That goal kick, hang up, right through the middle, the substitute. Emily Gielnik spurns her opportunity. Had all kinds of options. Goalkeeper was really stranded there, and Gielnik should have added to her international haul.
Yeah, that's disappointing for Em. She was in the right spot. She made a great run and clearly has the speed to get in front of the defender, but yeah, just either overthought, overhit that one, and she'll be really disappointed not to have just placed that one in the corner.
One of those players hoping to become an Olympian for the first time. Emily Gielnik. This one new. Catlett left it behind and Dung nearly tricked her way in. Kennedy advanced. Not on the same page as Lagaza. So difficult these conditions right now. That's a brilliant pass. And Polkinghorne had to get there, otherwise Vietnam were surging into the area. Oh, Lagaza. And she certainly wiped out her opponent there. Real strong physical contact as Lagaza took her eye off the ball and went through her opponent instead. The captain of Vietnam, Nguyen, trying to make that point there. But Lagaza should be punished for this against Nguyen Thi Van.
Probably has a point there as well. You can see Chloe's coming in with the elbow raised there, and in slippery conditions and at speed, I think that is a very dangerous, I suppose, tackle from Chloe there, and she needs to be careful.
A strong jaw to cop that and be able to play on. I wonder she was a little stunned. Yeah, watch the elbow of Lagaza lead, and I'll tell you what, at a World Cup when the VAR is in play, I reckon Lagaza could get a straight red for that.
Absolutely. Lagaza is definitely an aggressive player, but she does need to be a bit more disciplined in moments like that, because that is a red card offence.
Razzo turning on the afterburners. Gielnik's on her way again. Razzo picks the right option. Onside clearly here. Caitlin Ford has to do it herself around the keeper. Caitlin Ford back off the post. Australia butchering some late chances here. Another penalty claim for Razzo. And Vietnam clear their lines in the end. There are players down all over the place. This game taking a toll, and the referee stops play. Well, she showed composure. Just had to steer it home, Caitlin Ford.
I thought that was in for all money. Caitlin had done all the hard work. Well done to Hayley there. Look at the speed. Even with the ball, she's outpacing everyone. And a great little slip-through ball there. Caitlin Ford has done all the hard work here. She just couldn't place it in the net, and that's disappointing.
It's all been happening tonight in Newcastle. Now watch this. Ford played through. Gielnik's got to stay behind Ford, and then she'll get a square ball. But she advances into an offside position. The video analysis has got to go into overdrive ahead of the return leg, ahead of the Olympics, and make sure Australia tighten up in that area.
You're spot on there. That could have been an easy slip pass, but Caitlin saw that Em Gielnik had overrun that. She just needs to be there as a support player, and she overran it, and that's why you don't get an easy tap in.
So, playing for the free kick. The referee says a throw-in will do. Tends to find herself in the wars. Hayley Raso, the way she plays, she's so quick that any kind of touch, and she's upended. Back to her feet, moving okay. Helen Knight didn't have many options after Polkinghorne sold her short. Williams backs off on this occasion, leaves it to Kennedy, who could retreat to Williams in the end. It looked like it was going to skim off the back of the head, but not read by Raso.
Hayley's definitely made an impact since she's come on. She's certainly been getting involved and throwing her body around like she usually does, and a great little semi-assist there for Caitlin Foord, and she single-handedly won that penalty.
Didn't go to the Olympics either in 2016. Hayley Raso, such a special moment for her. She was able to reach that stage after all she's been through in recent times, broken back and all that. Not the ball that Kellen Knight was after. So we're in the 90th minute. How much stoppage time will there be? The fourth official already has the board lit up, I think. Just getting it ready. Lovely control by Dung to keep that one in. Pretty handy, emphatic scoreline. How much hunger is there for Australia to add one more here in stoppage time, of which there'll be 5 minutes? Can Vietnam pinch one? A little careless, and Carpenter there to retrieve the situation. Kennedy nearly caught in possession. Killer ball here for Nu. Couldn't get the better of Polkinghorne though. Carpenter. That's coolly done. Oh, solid contact there. Again, Hayley Raso upended. Opponent just checks on her welfare, but Raso is not moving a whole lot. Catley, early ball to the feet of Foord. Teammates on the move. Van Egmond, and they're screaming for attention for Hayley Raso. Here's what happened. Oof. It was an awkward landing, and the back of the head with the whiplash effect into the playing surface. Oof. Affectionately as Ribbon Raso, that trademark ribbon in the hair, the colour coordinated stuff. But, she certainly felt the full effects there as the head rebounded off the playing surface. Let's get back down to Tara.
Yeah, thanks so much, Speedy. The rain has been falling down, just huddled under an umbrella right now, but everyone took a collective gasp around Hunters Stadium, checking on the welfare of Hayley Raso. She was down on the ground. Of course, you would have mentioned it, Hayley broke her back, and there were fears that she'd never, ever play again. That happening over a year ago now, and speaking to even her mum cannot watch a vision of the game when she took that awful knock, and which resulted in her breaking the bones in her back, and it brought tears to her eyes, speaking to Mrs. Raso about the moment. But it is great. You can hear the crowd right now. Hayley Raso back on her feet.
Yeah, fantastic news. Very popular figure. She'll soon be revered with Everton. Now to become a toffee. take on the likes of Kerr and Ford. Every touch works out. Stylish turn as well, and Vietnam in the fashion a chance of their own in stoppage time here. Tivan gives it away though. And Razzo is on the move again. Van Egmond doesn't waste any time, putting it out in front of Hayley Razzo. Can she pick the right pass again? Flag will go up. Gilnick able to hold her run and stay onside. Offside count stands at 5-zip against Australia. And they've been offside in other situations, maybe 10 times on top of the 5 that have been given. .50 won by Choi against Gilnick. Polkinghorne, one of the goal scorers tonight. Williams just bent it in for Catley. Took a touch, but it will stay in the field of play for the captain. Jung searching down the line, Dung trying to flick it on. Referee playing the advantage. Left side of the pitch is wide open. Good recognition of us as well to find Van Su. To her right, trying to beat Williams, hits the crossbar. Well, what a terrific talent Van Su is. 18 years of age and nearly scores the goal of the night. It would have been a historic first goal for Vietnam against Australia. Referee had a glance at her watch. Maybe just one last chance for Australia. Gilnick, Ford, offside flag will come. Oh! And cops the Falcon to go on with. And they're asking for a booking for Razzo, taking on the strike after the whistle. Celebrations in Newcastle. Australia well on their way to another Olympic Games. 5-0 up after the first leg at home. Going to be very tough for Vietnam to overturn in Cam Pha in 5 days' time. Sam Kerr with a brace. Chloe Logarzo, Emily Van Egmond and Claire Polkinghorne with lone strikes. And in the end, it's the Matildas 5, Vietnam 0. And wasn't that a fabulous celebration when Polks, as her teammates call it, found the back of the net in the second half. That goal arriving midway through it. Sam Kerr stepped up from the spot and delivered. In the 80th minute, there were chances down the stretch to add to the 5. But in the end, they settle for that emphatic scoreline. Emily Van Egmond, a star on her home deck here in Newcastle. And we can get some reaction now. Let's get down to Tara Rushton.
Yeah, thanks so much, Speedy. I'm joined by Michelle Heyman. Didn't realise the rain stopped and that it started coming down, but overall 5-0, a good result for the Matildas overall. I could see Ante Miletic's frustration though, Michelle, on the bench. He wanted more goals at the end and we had a host of opportunities. What did you make of it overall?
Overall, I think it was a great game, but we definitely want more goals. But the girls, they put in the hard work. They kept on trying. They were consistent. They had so many opportunities, but it's just that next stage that we just got to finish them. We just got to be relentless in front of goals.
So do you think that's all it is, just being a little bit more relentless? Was there good signs, enough signs for you when we go away in 5 days and play Vietnam on their home turf?
Yeah, definitely very positive signs. I feel like maybe a couple of the players just felt a little bit tired, maybe fatigue. A lot of travel as well for a few of the girls, which is always hard to come back and then play an international match. But yeah.
All right, well, let's get some reaction right now. Amy Chapman is with Sam Kerr.
Sammy, that's a 5-0 win in the first leg of a home and away series. What was your take on that game?
Yeah, look, I thought we controlled the game. Obviously, we were not as sharp as we'd like to be in some points, but 5-0, good performance by a lot of girls. I thought Polky had an outstanding game, and it's always nice to get a clean sheet.
Vietnam were playing with 5, sometimes 6 in that back line. How frustrating was it for you as an attacker, and how frustrating did you feel it was for the girls?
We actually planned for it, so we knew it was coming, and yeah, it was a little bit slow because they, like you said, had 5 or 6 at the back, but we'd planned for that and just had to keep our patience, and we knew the goals would come, and they did.
And a pretty quick turnaround for you. You're over to Vietnam to play again on Wednesday, and yourself have been doing a lot of travelling. How's the body holding up, and how are you going with so many flights?
Yeah, there's been a lot of travel. I felt a little bit tired towards the end, but no, we're lucky. We have the best medical staff in the world that will be looking after us, and we're professionals, so this is what we do.
Well, congrats, Sam. Congrats to the Matildas, and well done on your 2 goals.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sam Kerr, I know we might have been talking about a little bit of fatigue, but she got on the score sheet twice tonight, scoring her 40th and her 41st international goal. 5 goals scored tonight. Let's take a look at all of them, Michelle.
Yeah, beautiful start here from the girls. You just see a lovely finish from Sam. First header of the game as well for herself. Coming through this one, you see 40 just put in a nice cross with a beautiful flick on from Emily. And you see Chloe Lagazzo just have so much time on the ball. She just watched that one go into the back of the net.
And hopefully there's no injury concern for Chloe Lagazzo. She did walk straight up the tunnel. And then Emily Van Egmond, Newey born and bred girl, scores in front of her home fans.
And a beautiful header it was. We were still unsure if it was an own goal or her own, but here we go with a beautiful reverse ball in to find Polk. So you don't really get to see much on the scoreboard, but wasn't she excited? It was an incredible finish from her.
Fantastic to see Claire Polkinghorn get on the score sheet. A lot of love for her on social media. The tried and tested Matilda, a beating heart of this national team. And then this moment here, what did you make of it, Pen?
Definitely a great dive there from Hayley. I think it was a pen. She's one of those people that just put her body on the line at all times.
Yeah, she did, and then she stepped up to the point. Sam Kerr, we need to talk about the way that she took this penalty. What did you make of it?
I think she was just proving a point. She was just showing everyone that this is us and this is what we can do. And incredible finish, and that's what you want to see, just power with that kick and beautiful penalty taken.
We got a little bit of a reaction from Sam Kerr, though, in that moment. She just looked at the home fans and went, get in, this is what I'm here for. Because I dare say a quieter game from Sam compared to what we're used to.
Yeah, I feel like we put a lot of pressure on Sam. We want her to have the ball at all times and being creative and doing everything for herself, but she's a team player and she went out there, she put all the hard work into it, and she still managed to score 2 goals, and we didn't get to see her on the ball as much, so that's a pretty incredible thing from that player.
Well, that is it from us here at Hunter Stadium. The job is done for the Matildas. 5-0 against Vietnam. They have 1 foot on the plane to Tokyo. Let's get over to Brisbane right now. Brisbane Roar and the Western Sydney Wanderers in the battle for the top 6. It's over to Simon Hill.